got a few more shows, 5 or so more shows, so if you are ever in Wellington. By the way, anybody travelled up from Wellington here tonight? There's a contingent, I think. There's a couple of people in the audience, I think, there. But look, the iconic Backbenchers Tavern, that is the home, that's the Tauranga Waiwai of Backbenchers. Please feel free to join us there. But I took to the streets of Auckland this afternoon and I asked this question. Do you reckon that New Zealand should up its quota of refugees coming here from 750 to 1,500?
Not really, no.
Yes.
No.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Happily.
Just leave it 750 a year.
That's enough.
That's enough.
I think we should do something. And I think a multicultural society is quite good.
There's enough space in New Zealand, like Australia, there's enough room.
Are you guys from Australia?
Yes, we are.
We don't have enough accommodation and other facilities to provide for, First we need infrastructure ready.
Look at this. Plenty of space.
We don't have the houses. We are already having shortage of houses.
So you reckon they should allow more refugees in Australia as well?
Yes.
Because you guys are tough on refugees, aren't you?
Yeah, at the moment.
Very tough.
Too many people?
Yeah, too many people.
Taking out jobs, perhaps?
Yeah, exactly.
I was a refugee too in this country, yeah, but I come here nearly 17 years ago.
I mean, it's a humanitarian crisis. They need to have somewhere to go and somewhere to come.
New Zealand is great country, yeah. It's very good.
People fear that they're going to come in and take over, but they're going to come in and work hard because they want a new start.
New Zealand, they can't afford to take much more people like used to be. But New Zealand is better, yeah, better life in here, better everything, yeah.
Well, welcome to New Zealand, bro. That guy there was actually a refugee from Algeria, came here about 17 years ago, but this has been the big issue this week and actually for many months. It's an extraordinarily tragic situation, these refugees. So I want to go around the panel first before I go to Damien and ask this simple question. Should we double the quota from 750 to 1,500? Yes or no? Jacinda?
We should at least kick over 1,000 at least. Andrew Little today was saying, look, let's bring in another 500 at least. You know, this is a humanitarian crisis. And
double the quota, not quite? Not sure.
Yeah, we've said at least
Alfred
500 more.
Should we double the quota?
Well, with the current family reunification agenda, we also actually allow through 1,100. So it's more than the 750.
No, that's not quite right though, is it? That's not exactly, you're playing with the numbers here. Double the quota, so straight up from 750.
Here's the answer. There's a review that's happening next year, every 3 years. So in 2016, the Cabinet gets to choose. Hasn't changed
in 30 years. Julianne Gender, should we double the quota?
Like Jacinda, at least 1,000. We should at least get up to 1,000. And I'm very proud my colleague Denise Roach has a bill in the ballot for that. But yeah, of course we should consider more because our population's increased significantly. Our GDP's increased threefold since 1987.
David Seymour, ACT, should we double the quota?
First of all, I wish our GDP had increased threefold since 87. But look, we should peg it to something. For either whether it's population, whether it's GDP.
Should we double the quota from 750 to 1,500?
Well, look, if you pegged it to population in 87, it would now be 1,036, and I think that's probably a fair way to do it.
All right, just stay with us, and we'll go to Damien.
We're actually very, very proud and honoured to have a refugee in the crowd tonight. It's Hayley Holt, all the way from Crowd Goes Wild. Hi. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for visiting our show. But seriously, we've got Dr. Anne Hood from Refugees as Survivors. Hello.
Hello.
And Arif Saeed Doctor as well, who's you moved here from Afghanistan a number of years ago?
Yeah, I came here 2000.
2000. What was it that prompted you in 2000 to move to New Zealand?
Oh, my family life was in danger, so that's why we lived. We come here.
We've heard a lot of people saying that, obviously including a number of our panels, saying we need to double the number, The reality is, if we did that tomorrow, could we cope with an influx of refugees in terms of settling them and so forth?
Well, at the moment we have a 6-week orientation program at Mangere Reception Centre, and then we follow up with support with education, employment, housing, schooling, and we're a service that works in that area, and we believe that it is possible. Obviously we'd need more resources, but we would be determined to make it work.
A lot of from what I understand, there's a reliance on volunteers at the moment to make the service work. Would that be able to be increased, do you think, easily?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, tell me about your experience when you came here in 2000. What was it like being settled? Was it a fairly seamless experience, apart from the fact you were leaving your entire life behind in country?
It was a little bit difficult at the beginning because I was a medical doctor back home, but I couldn't practice here. But anyway, I choose to work. I needed to work, and I started in 2001 working with the refugees and survivors. So I'm working since then, and my wife is the same, working same organization. So since we come, both of us we are working. Some people take that refugees are a burden, but that is not true. We should see them as an asset. They are contributing a lot. Lots of refugees.
Can I just ask you on that topic, your general feeling, how have Kiwis been to you since settling? Have they been treating you like a burden, or have they been open-minded and saying, welcome?
It depends who you face. Like you saw before the interviews, some people are totally against, but some people, they are majority of New Zealanders are very kind, friendly, supportive. Whenever we need some help for a refugee family, heaps of helps. We send one email, heaps of helps arriving.
Thank you.
Perfect.
And if we were going to pick a number overnight, what would it be?
Unfortunately, I can't comment on numbers because we're not a political organisation.
You're allowed to, though, right?
Yes, I am working with refugees.
Pick a number.
What's your number? Double it?
1,000, but gradually to the double. This is what Australia is aiming. They're aiming to increase their quota to 20,000 by 2020.
Thank you very much.
All
Thank
right.
you to our guests.
Hey, great to have you on. Well, there's about sort of 400 or so hundred people here. Just get some cameras onto the audience here. Hands up those who reckon that we should over time double the quota, and I'll tell you, hands up. Look at that. Look at that. What do you think about that, Jacinda?
Yeah, I think that just demonstrates the Kiwi spirit. I mean, when you look at a place like Lebanon, roughly the same size as New Zealand, they've taken in over 1 million Syrian refugees. Now, we're only talking about boosting to say, 1,000, 1,200. It is a drop in the ocean. We are the kind of people that inherently want to support others, I think, in crisis.
And what do you think, Alfred, when you see those images, those so traumatic images of families, walking along the railway tracks? What runs through your mind?
Oh, look, I mean, we are a nation that's compassionate. We're giving, we're caring, and we do that. I think one of the things
but what runs through your mind when you see those images? What do you think?
Well, the thing is that we do welcome them into our homes, and I think that's what we want to do, welcome them into New Zealand. That's what we've been doing. But look, the thing that I think is important, and what's been said, is that actually at the refugee camp when they do come here, are we giving them support to settle in? It's the resettlement process that's just as important as welcoming them into our borders.
But we're beating the settlement process. The Māngani settlement, that's one thing that we are good at, though, isn't it, Julianne? That's one thing that we are good at.
Can I just say that we're 90th in the world for accepting refugees, and I think that's not good enough. Like, we could do so much better, 90 in the world. And it's not just the right thing to do. I actually think New Zealand would really benefit from it.
All right, 90th in the world. That is shameful, isn't it, David? That we are 90th. We pride ourselves on...
It would be shameful, but by some measures, it's actually even worse than Julianne says. If you allow for the fact that we're comparatively quite wealthy, we come in at 115. Now, we're lucky that we have large oceans that protect us from millions of people coming across our border, but that means that we have to actually make a moral choice.
So am I hearing, what's that policy? Am I hearing that you would actually welcome a lot more refugees than we are taking now?
I think that we should peg it to either our population growth or our GDP. Whatever you choose is arbitrary, but saying that the number has been exactly the same since 1987 cannot be right.
All right, I want to go to Damien. Let's go to Damien in the audience on this issue. Damien.
We've actually got a former colleague of mine in the audience. Kim Vanel has actually just come back from working in Syria, so I thought to getting the perspective from the other end. Iraq, Syria?
Iraq, yeah.
Okay, same thing.
I would just say...
Oh, God.
But you told, we just spoke...
This is what riles me up.
You just told me that you're on the Syria border the other day.
Turkey-Syria border.
Tell us about what it looks like there.
Okay, the thing that riles me up, and I'm not political, I'm very impartial, but what riles me up is that New Zealanders, we have this isolated mindset, and we think that it's not our problem. We think that this is the other. These people are just like us. These are children like our children. And they didn't choose this. They didn't choose to be in these camps for years and years on end. We can't imagine what it would be like to be in a war-torn country.
We're getting a new flag. That's the point, though, you come back to New Zealand after being overseas, then you go, really?
How much are we spending on this flag? Yeah.
27 minutes. Thank you very much, Kim. Thank you.